Cortez Productions presents Death Call. Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another part of Death Call. And I'm your host, Yael Cortez. But before we begin tonight's video, I want you guys to do me a huge favor. Subscribe, smash the like button, smash the notification bell so you don't miss a video, and enjoy the video. Alright? Let's get right to it. Grab a snack, sit tight, and make sure to turn around so that no one is watching you. The death call is right beside you. Let's get right to it. This is Death Call, Chapter 7. Everyone has a story. I was going to suggest on asking Jeremy about how his father passed away, or just to do something about the frozen finger, and maybe tell him to or not. I was confused at this point. I still didn't know what to do while waiting for the class to end. All I could think about is the time I was going to go camping with my uncle, but I'd rather not talk about it to anyone, not even my parents, because my parents hate it when I tell something to them. But oh well, that's just how I live it for. Then I walked up to Sam and asked if he wanted to hang out with me at my desk during the few minutes of relatable time method. I thought it was a bad idea to have a conversation about losing loved ones in our families, but I think it would make him uncomfortable if we talked about this sort of stuff again. Everyone got to tell. That's what my father said to me. Then Sam quickly replied to me, "Absolutely." I was relieved for a sec, but I had to make sure that to not spill the beans. To what he does hypothetically, and not bring up anything about his past, even though I don't really know about it. "Alright, Sam, let's talk." "Okay. About what exactly?" "Oh, you know, about each other, how life is doing, and maybe talk about, this frozen finger, perhaps?" Sam looked a little upset when I brought up the term life doing and such, so I have to probably not say anything about that again to Sam. "Alright, then, so, about life, you said. No, it's okay. If you don't want to talk about it, that kind of stuff, then that's fine by me. You don't have to. I just wanted your undivided attention and your advice on what I should do with the frozen finger." "Are you sure you want to talk about that here? Because someone could hear us talk about it, and they will tattletale on us. I bet it's going to be Jeremy, the one that tells on us all the time, or most likely me, since you're new of him." "Wait, what? You're going to think Jeremy's going to tell Mr. Mark about our conversation?" "Well, I think about it. That guy is so soft with teachers, and he's a pet to them. Like, he actually respects them in some sort of way. The reason I know this is because I used to be friends with him, but we are not meant to be around each other. It's a long story." "Well, you may have a point there. And he is a cheesy guy. But again, he could have just been well treated and also. Wait. Yes. You said he was your friend, right? Or long lived old friend? My first best friend, actually. And yes, and a matter of fact, he was my first best friend, but it didn't really end up well and it really start up well. Alright then, if you guys were best friends, why'd you guys suddenly break apart? Your friendship. And also, I'm sorry if this is making you uncomfortable right now. Sam started to get uncomfortable, but he quickly reacted to what I said. Oh, if we are going to talk about this, let's maybe go somewhere private during nutrition. Wait, you're serious? You want to talk about this during nutrition? About your past and friendship? Well, if we are going to be friends, might as well get to know each other very well and tell something to each other that we never told our parents before. How is that for a conversation starter? Very well. Then I like your thinking on this, and I know just the spot we can have our alone time. Also, we have about 22 minutes to talk about our past troubles, or whatever you may call them. Doesn't matter by me. Alright, sounds good. Like a deal, Anthony's. See ya in the bit in our secret area. Alright? As soon as we were done having our conversation, the bell rang for nutrition, and everyone left the classroom. And before I left, I had to see what was on Jeremy's and Sammy's desk, to see what they're hiding from each other. And what I found was completely unbelievable. Chapter 8. Who doesn't like a good talk with a friend? It is now nutrition. Normally, in this time, I usually be picked on by other students, and it sit in the dark chair alone. Also, they say that the dark chair is actually referred to as the death chair. Those are the rumors I heard from other students, and the last student to sit there was killed due to depression because he decided to not eat his food and just accept the fate to die from whatever he was going through. As things go by, I feel like everything changes when nutrition begins because I have someone to talk to and a fresh air is flowing through the sky. The school that I go to is about 76 years old, and there's always something strange that happens on the 1st of October. And that's why I wondered to myself, do some particular students suffer or fear to this day? Who knows? So then I walked outside to look for Sam and spotted him in the area that we were pleased to speak. But he already figured out the specific area we were going to pick. I was gonna suggest on having the secret area under the swings because no one goes over there, but there's a good spot too. Meanwhile, other students were gathering around to see an early Halloween parade taking place in the school street. Everyone was excited about it, except Sammy, because I think he doesn't really celebrate this kind of holiday, and I think I know why. Some kids were talking about what was going on to happen during the parade. They were saying what they were going to be for Halloween, and probably going trick-or-treating as well. So I walked up to Sam and followed him to our secret area, perhaps, of his, and Sam calls it the Little Domain. Looks like he already got himself prepared. So, this is where you spend your time during nutrition and lunch? Huh, not bad. I was gonna suggest the small swings in the right, because nobody goes over there, but this seems like a good area too. He looked a little embarrassed and uncomfortable when I said that, but I made him better by giving him a truce of honor. It's something I do when I make someone feel better when they're upset. Oh, sorry. My apologies. I didn't mean to offend you like that. It's just like speaking the obvious and saying something funny, sort of. Then Sam looked at me, and then he walked close to me and ate his hamburger in front of me, of course, like it was a threat. But I wasn't threatened at all. I seen that look before today, and it reminded me of that look, the same look I saw the black-haired girl this morning. I had a theory that probably Sam and this black-haired girl could be relatives or siblings. I just didn't know what to think about after he gave me that look. At least this look wasn't that, well, let's just say unease. Could they be related in any sort of way? Who knows? I had to find out sooner or later. Nutrition was still resuming for about 23 more minutes because today is a long break day outside, and yes, in this school day, they use this day to get ourselves out there to express the feeling of fresh air, but it's really a day that happens in the 6 months or so. This gives me enough time to ask and learn about my new friend Sam. If I'm going to become his friend, we need to tell each other things, to not tell others. It's what friends do, right? Just as long as he doesn't spill them out. I'm not really sure if I trust him at all. Again, he's one of those peculiar students, and these peculiar students don't end up so well. Sometimes they end up in treason. We'll see where this goes. I hope this goes well. Alright, let me give you my truce of honor. As you can see here, this is a needle, but this is not no ordinary needle. This is my friend is the True Sphere. Yeah, this needle's name's True Sphere, but you'll see why. What's a True Sphere? It's a made-up word that I made up for when I ever get a friend and I look where I am now. I'm making a friend. But the other reason I call it that is because my great-uncle Barden always calls me Puring, and it stands for leadership. He's always said when I do something, when I take responsibility, he calls me that. So it was also a made-up word he decided to make up, but I knew it would stand for leadership. I can tell from the tone that he gave me. He was the best, but he's gone now. Sorry that I got a little too further out there. Okay, so he is a give or take kind of guy, or a wag, I should say. Well, there's more than just that. And for the record, he is not a wag. But, I mean, he does make fun of me sometimes. But, hey, that's how families are sometimes, right? Alright then. Didn't say I told you so, but okay. That's just your own type of deal. Also, what do you mean by sometimes? What does he particularly do to you? My own type of deal is to not get too involved in the adult humor, but because I don't have to even think about the joke or the pun, if you know what I mean, right? Oh no, I totally get you. Just I don't dig too far deep into it, you know? Alright then, thanks, and you're asking about it sometimes. Well, my Uncle Barton sometimes just takes his jokes to another level, as he does actually mean his jokes when he says something too unexplanatory, but sometimes about me. Sometimes the jokes are usually about me, and he never really apologizes to me unless someone is close by. But I've gotten used to it by now because I just ignore him and pretended to listen to his jokes. So well spoken, but strange to hear about that. I never really had that kind of problem with any of my family members. And besides, who needs them at this point? I say we take our own chances for once. Sam. What? Oh, right. My apologies. I didn't mean that. Out of the sort of place again, and you already know about this during my introduction, that I got to stand up for myself a little too well, huh? Indeed you did. But yeah, I totally get it. Families can be tough sometimes. They never know how to act in front of you. Oh, and it's okay, it happens when someone gets too interested in conversation like this, but hey, maybe we can take a chance for once if we can. Oh really? I never really thought you agree to that, but yeah, I totally get too much of myself. Also, I think you were about to give me your truce of honor, but as soon as I asked about the term truce fear, we got ourselves too deep to the conversation, but it doesn't seem to cause a problem. Well, so far this has been going so far so good, and you agree? Indeed, it has. Alright, then I shall continue the truce of honor. Behold, the needle truce fear of sharp stones. This will turn us into friends to the end. And now I'm going to need you to give me your finger so I can tap it into your finger. Is this going to hurt? Because I really despise the feeling of pain. Always. Oh, this? Don't worry, man. It will only hurt for 5 seconds. Just think of it as a little pinch. But it's going to be fine because I tested this on myself and no pain, no gain for me. Okay, I'm up for it. Do your worst. I'm not actually gonna do that. Okay, just do it. Then I gazed into Sammy's eyes, and I saw that he was crying a little bit. And when he was crying just a bit, Sam was also singing a song that I couldn't understand. Time was almost out for nutrition. All the students were preparing to go to their next classes. And then appeared the janitor to clean up the leftover trash. Also, the weather was now in the low 70 degrees. Alright, then, get ready, and I hope you can soon be better after this. Just keep singing your song. You'll be just fine. And at the end of this all, we're gonna be best friends. And I will never let you go. Well, not literally, but you know what I mean. Yeah, I've been through a friendship before. Okay. But, hey, can I just ask one more question, then no more questions? Sure. Why did you and Jeremy stop being friends? We just didn't agree with the same things. How so? He was going on a family trip and he wanted to invite me, but I disagreed. But he kept forcing me to go, and I didn't want it to. So he broke into my house that day when I disagreed, and he tried to pack my stuff and force me to go. Luckily, my parents were there to save me. They stopped him. But then, the next day, when we saw each other at school, Jeremy got himself in trouble and did something horrible. Then we had a talk in the detention room. I visited him, but he just acted weird. I just couldn't take it. A guy like that, I cannot be friends with, I thought. Jeremy is a complete insult. So that's how it happened. My God. Never know you went through that. Tell me about it. Everybody's got a story. Yeah. Everybody does have a story. Alright, everybody. That's all for tonight. Hope you guys enjoyed tonight's video. And stay tuned for part 4. Part 4 might have something else in mind. But anyway, that's all for tonight. See you guys next time. Subscribe. Love you all. Good night. And make sure the death call isn't right behind you.